Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah.
Oh, well, good, because we just started.
Sweet.
What's up, Big C fam? Tonight we have Oscar, post draft interview. We actually just did a maybe 5 minute interview, maybe 8 minute interview, and
Take two.
yeah, I wasn't recording, so you're getting the exact rephrasing of what we just said from memory.
Right. Word for word.
Yeah, so
Uh,
where did we
yeah,
start?
what I
We started
say?
with Salamence.
Fuck. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. So I said, coming in, I from the time that I lost in semis to last season to about 45 minutes before the draft of this season, I have not thought about Pokemon or looked, played, or done anything whatsoever. So I spent like the first 15 minutes of that prep time like trying to remember how to like look everything up, and then yeah, knew coming in that I was gonna go with either T-Tar or Salamence depending on what Adam took,
Mm-hmm.
and then just kind of go from there. Um, so yeah, so Salamence, and then I figured I was gonna end up with I was kind of hoping for I was kind of hoping to end up with Fortress was like what I had written down, um, but Breloom was on my list too, and then yeah, so just kind of ended up with that, and then as I said before,
Yeah.
until Steelix, I did not the consequence of not checking Discord or doing anything, just coming in just like, oh yeah, I did this before. I can just hop in and draft. The consequence was not realizing that the we implemented the point system until about Steelix in my
Mm-hmm.
draft, so third to last. And yeah, so that's kind of where why I ended up with a lot of really higher point value Pokemon in the mid game.
Hey, picked
Um,
up Butterfree though. That's something
and
else we
picked up
talked about.
Butterfree. That's
Butterfree
right.
criminally under point valued
Right.
in this format.
Yeah. My buddy Dwight, who is a very good Gen 3 OU player, and he I sent him the this Google Sheets before the draft, and he said a couple things, but one of the early things he was like, wait, why is Butterfree at 3? And then once I got down to 4 points, I was like, oh, that's what he meant. And then I grabbed Butterfree. So
Dude, it's interesting. Yeah, Butterfree. I'm curious as to know why Butterfree is so low, because that's one thing that I thought as well. I mean, I just grabbed this draft board off the internet. This is not my creation. I edited it a
right.
little bit, but I'm not exactly sure why. I think Butterfree is definitely better than the other 3 point Pokemon. I mean, it's down there with the likes of. Oh, let me pull this right. Like Apom and Duskull and Onyx. Some quite
Great
horrible.
shitters.
Yeah, shitters is one way I describe them, but Butterfree can actually do some stuff. It's a Pokemon. It's a dude.
Hell yeah.
That's
Yeah, and like I was saying, I mean, finding Regirock late in the mid game there was so good for my mental.
absolutely
So fucking big for my mental because the yeah, MVP for my team last season.
a stalwart
Um,
presence.
yeah, and yeah, really, I mean, pun intended, my rock.
You're rock,
You know,
man.
he was my rock.
Yeah, I see. Double Reggie.
Yeah,
Reggie
double
pickup.
Reggie. Yeah,
Almost the trifecta.
yeah. It was close, right? I can't remember how the draft went. I almost had access to all three of them.
It was, yeah. Adam picked Registeel right before your Steelix, so he denied you.
Yeah, yeah.
I guarantee
Tough.
that's the only thing he was thinking about when he picked Registeel.
Yeah, yeah, that's tough.
What's
That's tough.
interesting to me is when I look at your team, I see, I think, 5 Pokemon that can learn the move Explosion. So,
Yeah. So when is this coming out?
I could delay it a little bit.
No, no, it's fine. It. I mean, everybody else knows that too. It's just like
I was probably doing
it's
next week.
yeah, yeah. I mean, there's some explosion gaming opportunities for sure. Uh, I don't. I mean, if it ever comes to a situation where the outcome of a game going in will not affect me in the slightest, then might be some cards up my sleeve.
Prep for some fireworks.
Yeah, perfect. That's right. Prep for some fireworks. July came early.
Yeah, Independence Day, January January
Yeah,
17th.
yeah, that's right.
Well, that's pretty cool. I mean, so we talked about this before. I think we didn't talk about this in this recording. The Metagross not picking.
Oh, right.
So
Yep.
you value Tyranitar and Salamence as like 1-2, and Metagross and Raikou just not going to choose them. Not in your mind at all. And why is that?
Yeah, so Raikou, I it was not in my mind because because Dwight, my friend, said that that would not be a strong pick in 1, 2, 3 area, and I didn't really understand why, but he said it, so I was like, okay, this is the word of God, and then
He's pretty good.
yeah, so Metagross, I think you brought it up last time is when we were playing Metagross last season was just effectively worthless because Brandon just exploded with them every time.
Yes.
And I spent a lot of time against Salamence because Jagon was my scrim partner, and also I spent the most time prepping against his team because I played him last round in the regular season, and it was a must win for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I spent like a lot of time playing against Salamence, and I think just recognizing the threat that he was while practicing against him.
A lot of flexibility,
And
a lot of different sets it can run that are all very scary.
yeah, so recognizing the variance of his or like like you're saying, the different sets that he can run, and also how threatening he was just
Mm-hmm.
like playing against him with my team was just like, I don't know, it just made me realize, like, I thought T-Tar was going to go 1 overall, so I had to prep for Salamence, and then I also prepped a little bit for T-Tar not going 1 overall, but I was pretty sure he was, so
T-Tar is also very flexible. Both Tyranitar and Salamence, I think, are very interesting, strong Pokemon because there's so many different sets you can run. They do a lot of different things. Metagross usually is like that, but apparently it only used 1 move last year, so...
yeah, I
don't
mean,
know.
it might be a blunder. I'm just not very experienced. Like, I don't really know a whole lot with this, so it might be better for me to take Metagross, but it's
Maybe.
it
I don't
just-
know. I don't think you can really go wrong. It's whichever one you like better.
Yeah.
I will say I am really interested to see what Jack does with Raikou, because
Yeah,
Brandon.
that was frustrating. I remember thinking,
Just
like,
dropped.
I kept seeing him not go, and then I was like, are we really gonna give Jack an 18
Mhm.
rate? Like, that's crazy. He's 10th. But yeah, so I guess also, like, not a whole lot of Jack respect in the general in the general opinion of the 10 players. 5 of us are returning,
Mhm.
right? And
Yes. Yeah, 5.
then five new guys, but and also besides, like, none of the new guys know Jack. Is that right? I mean, Adam. No,
Adam.
not
They
really.
know his sister, because Mary's still.
That's
down.
right. Yeah, yeah. So nobody knows Jack.
Oh, Liam knows
and
Jack.
People are. Oh yeah, that's right. People are not respecting the Jack game, and I think if they did, they wouldn't let Raikou go down to the bottom.
I will say I do know Zach is a longtime viewer, so.
That's true.
And he actually picked a team
He
somewhat
did
similar
pick
to that.
Jack's team.
So maybe he's sort of a little more respect in that sense.
That's right. Yeah, maybe he did. He's like, man, this Jack guy is so good.
I mean, Jack had a great team last time. He
Yeah.
honestly,
yeah.
he was pretty good. It's
Yeah, that is a scary team. Actually, you got Heracross on the.
yeah, it is. So
Wow. Yeah.
yeah, the Raikou, I'm excited to see what happens. So Raikou's interesting because it's a very powerful Pokemon, but it is not great in Gen 3 OU. Just because of the existence of 2 Pokemon, Dugtrio and Blissey, that both beat it, and those 2 Pokemon are like ubiquitous they're on so many teams. But Jack has Dugtrio,
Yeah. Yeah.
and in this format, only one person has Blissey, only one person has Chansey, so Raikou might be running a little wild here. It needs a little bit more support than the other top 4 powerhouses, but
Yeah.
we'll see what
It's
he
also
can do.
it's most dangerous in his hands because he's gonna know everything about it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, in terms of game knowledge, he's moving at an accelerated rate compared to the rest of us.
Yeah, so who besides Jack are you most scared of? Team-wise or person-wise?
I think yeah. So I never. I guess I haven't played with my team yet, so I don't really know. Like I can't. I'm still kind of in the headspace of like my other team and what.
Hmm.
But I'd say Zach's team is scary because I still don't really know how to deal with Blissey Swampert.
Okay.
But I guess Salamence is something that I did not have before.
Yeah. Jagan gave him
Uh,
the one loss. Gave Jack the one loss last year, so
that's right. Yeah. Okay.
maybe Salamence is the secret.
Yeah. So Zach, and also Zach's a viewer. I mean, like he's might be the most the most viewer highest viewer time on the Big C channel.
He actually might be.
So he knows the game. I mean, I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
Zach. And obviously Jack. I think I'm also scared of Justin just because I don't want to lose to an all M team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's
His
just a
team
bad
is
look.
it's pretty good for picking only
Yeah,
M
yeah.
Pokemon.
It's yeah. The point system and finding the 100 points with all M's that are all like in the right. I mean, that's yeah, it's impressive. It's impressive. I mean, yeah. Of course he's gonna round out with Magikarp there, but
Yeah,
it's
the king.
yeah.
King of all M's. Now, Justin's also, I know he is a gamer. He was a professional Clash Royale.
Yeah, yeah. I've heard that. That's pretty wild.
Lived in a Clash house. So that's a little neat fact for all the viewers. Maybe we'll do a team rundown at some point and give little fun facts. But yeah, that's really it. Anything else you'd like to say to the fans? Anything you'd like to discuss real quick before we close out?
Don't think so. I think I'm just excited to play.
Yeah, well, excited to have you back, Oscar. I'm excited to see what kind of strategies you cook up. I think actually Jack mentioned you in his interview. He said I think Oscar is or was the player at the end of last year who had the most upwards trajectory towards the end of the season. So
Yeah, yeah. It was
big expectations.
yeah, high expectations. Yeah, I'm just excited to disappoint. I mean, excited to play well. Really excited to play.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you for coming in for the interview.
Yeah,
We'll
for sure.
catch you
Thanks for
next
hosting.
week for some games. Big C fam, you guys can watch Oscar here on the channel. Maybe in a week or two.
Let's
I don't know.
go.
I don't know when this is coming out. All right. Later.